Hey everyone, so we're going to follow up on the last video and continue learning about how to draw fur with pen and ink. Now in this video we're going to actually look at a reference image and carefully study the fur of this cat and apply the 3 tips we covered in the last video. So I also want to give a congratulations to the winners of the giveaway, Jennifer Dolly and Mayela Lamida Liver. Forgive me if I'm not pronouncing your name correctly. So congratulations, they both won a copy of Pen and Ink Drawing and a copy of Pen and Ink Drawing Workbook, as well as some Pigma microns and drawing supplies. All right, and while I'm at it, thanks to everyone also who has grabbed a copy of either books or both. All right, thanks so much, and I really appreciate it. So in the last video, we discussed when drawing fur, whether from imagination or observation, all right, it's important to observe 3 things. And that's the overall flow of the fur, the clusters or groups of fur, and also light and shadow. And if you didn't watch the last video, make sure you click the link or the card in the upper right of your screen to go see it now. So here's the image, a really furry cat. And I use this image particularly because the cat is practically blanketed in fur. All right, you can't see its paws or legs. All you see is fur, and it's all we have to convey the body parts. Now, using the 3 tips we discussed in the last video, let's look at how we can actually identify those 3 things individually. Now, as for the flow of the fur, if we look at the body first, you can see a general spiraling movement from the neck going back around and down towards the tail and the legs and the lower body. And looking at the head, it's easy to see that everything spreads out radially from the face. So making note of this is important because it not only sets the foundation for your shading, but it enables you to see the unifying rhythm that flows through the entire form and kind of like harmonizes the image. Now, remember, the clusters not only help to organize the fur and make it easier to draw, but they also distinguish the different parts of the body and help to convey the anatomy. So, for example, you'll see that a different or sets of clusters indicates or follows the neck in a way that's kind of different from the way it follows the legs or the clusters that follow the back, the tail, and so on. And we can even see how small clusters distinguish the different parts of the head and the face, like the muzzle or by the chin or by the forehead, the ear, and so on. So the key is to mark the outline of these clusters so that the distinction between the different areas or parts of the body is clear. And lastly, as for light and shadow, we can see clearly that the main light source is at the upper left. And this creates a variation in value from light to deep values. Now, this helps to convey the 3-dimensionality of the cat. So it appears as a solid object or solid subject with mass and volume and not as a flat shape. And once we can see this value pattern, then all we have to do is to vary our strokes, whether in spacing, size, weight, layers, and so on. And this will help to convey the 3-dimensionality and actually bring it to life. Now, I'm not going to do a super detailed drawing, just a quick one in which I can apply these 3 factors so you see how they help you to see, because that's essentially what this is about. Learning to see your object in a conceptual way that allows you to simplify the drawing process. And, because doing this also deepens your understanding of what you're drawing. It gives you more confidence and more control over the direction of your drawing. In fact, it's like it enables you to deviate and even invent or exaggerate as you wish, because once you find the rhythm, you can lead it. And there you have it. And this would be the main framework or basis of my drawing, because from here it's just a matter of rendering light and shadow. And that's what I'll be covering in the next video, where it actually how you vary the strokes to account for the areas that are deep in shadow and areas that are in light. So that way I can know where I space my strokes, where I make them tightly spaced and densely layered. But the main thing is not that. The main thing is this: establishing the overall flow of the fur and identifying and separating the different clusters. And that's pretty much it. Now, you could say, why bother with all this? Why not just grid the image, trace it, and then just copy it that way, detail for detail? Of course, you could do that, but then you cheat yourself. You cheat yourself from learning key skills in observation, in judgment, and learning to deconstruct a subject, which are ironically key to learning to draw from imagination. To draw from imagination, you really need to learn a subject, to be able to deconstruct a subject and reconstruct it in simple forms, to visually analyze a subject. And then this is how you actually learn to master it. So practice to look at a subject and visually break it down. And you'll find that it will really improve your process of not only drawing just fur, but virtually any subject. So I hope you liked the video and you found something useful that you can apply to your own drawing. And if you did, remember to give the video a thumbs up. It means a lot. And if you're new to my channel, remember to subscribe and turn on your notifications so you won't miss any new uploads. And as usual, thanks for watching. Keep practicing, and I'll see you in the next video.